Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Silent Hill 2 Remake. So, we're going along with our friendly neighborhood ghost slash demon person slash whatever you want to consider Maria in this situation.
It's genuinely never made clear what she is, and in fact, the Maria DLC's existence. I call it DLC, but it was just a re-release add-on. Like playing as Maria before she meets James kind of throws her entire existence into question, because if you can have a story from her perspective, absent James entirely, it means she's an independent sentient being.
I was going to say, that gives her autonomy.
Yes. So, like, what the hell, right? What is she?
Is that an arcade cabinet?
What?
In the back of the truck.
No, that's a soda machine.
Oh, okay. With more disgusting health drinks.
Continues to smash.
Oh, you get a trophy for that.
At least I think it's a soda machine. I only had a glimpse of it, but it would make sense for it to be a soda machine that was like being shipped in or out of the bar, you know? I like how James goes to the trouble of noting down the gate at the back of the apartments and then crosses it out once he finds a different way out.
So we still don't have like a concrete goal or a place we are trying to go to other than like forward and find Mary at this point in the
pretty
game.
Much.
Okay.
Maria says she knows a special place that might be what James is thinking of, so we're just kind of following her due to the lack of other options.
The actual special place, I think, would be the final area of the game, which is the hotel James and Mary stayed in.
Yes.
But James doesn't remember what all they all did when they were in this stupid resort town. I mean, Silent Hill, when it's operating normally, is just a regular-ass town, you know? So...
Is the fact that he can't remember what happened there, like, that's supposed to be say something about him and not about the town?
His memory is entirely hazy right now, so he doesn't remember murdering his wife. So him not remembering stuff that they did together kind of goes together with that. The question of whether the memory effect is something to do with his own trauma or Silent Hill fucking with his mind is left up in the air. And the only other game in the series to go into this aspect of Silent Hill, where it draws people in and makes them experience their nightmares and face them, the only other game in the series that does that is Downpour. Downpour did the Silent Hill game, the Silent Hill 2 thing again. So, like, it's not like this is an aspect of the lore that has been fleshed out very much. Which,
and Downpour is considered one of the bad ones.
It's not a bad game on its own merits, but it was unfinished and buggy as hell at launch. Like, it's still not the most polished game even after all of the patch updates. But you know, if you can get a copy of it now, it's pretty cheap. And it's an okay game to play through. I enjoyed it. It's also the first game in ages to have a second puzzle difficulty, so, you know. You can tell the developers at least knew what they were doing, even if they maybe didn't stick the landing the way Bloober did here.
No, that is an arcade machine.
Oh, there is an arcade machine and a soda machine. Okay.
So what's the one that's considered like the really bad one then? Is that Homecoming?
Homecoming. That depends on who you ask. Homecoming has a lot of fans, especially in the fanfiction community. The whole Shepherd family nonsense is much beloved for reasons I cannot comprehend.
The fact that you described it as nonsense, I think, is indicative of your opinion.
The actual gameplay, though, on the other hand, is indisputably kind of terrible. Because they focus a lot on action melee combat, but it's action melee combat in a game where the enemies do not get stun locked at all by anything that you ever do to them. It gets pretty ridiculous.
So any attack string you do would just get interrupted by the enemy.
Yeah, probably. It's, you know, I haven't had a chance to play much of it, so my memory for how it plays is fuzzy. I do intend to finish it at some point, if only so that I can maybe understand a little why people love the Shepherd family nonsense. But I do know that Silent Hill Homecoming is more keyed into the cult storyline. So it's with 1, 3, and 4 in that area.
Ooh, piece of candy.
It is nice of these people to just leave live ammunition for their guns on display in the back of their cars. It's like a stupider version of what NRA state people do. Like,
I'm trying really hard. Again, I'm trying really hard not to let my main bias show out here. I'm just gonna stay quiet. I'm just gonna stay quiet.
I've been in a truck with someone who insisted on displaying their gun in the back window of their car while they drove, and I'm just like, really, guy? What is the purpose of that?
Is Ryan missing something here, or
I missed the alleyway I'm supposed to go into because.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Okay.
We're on the other side of that chasm. Some detour. But hey, at least we're here.
Here meaning where?
That's a good question.
Silent Hill.
So the mansion, I think, is on this street, isn't it?
I believe so. I forget to show it off because I think I got a bit turned around.
Oh, it's somewhere on one of these streets.
Yeah.
I spent a long time exploring the town when I played the remake. I spent so long exploring the town that I think I'd played double the playtime you should be expected to play by the time you reach the hospital. But there was just so much stuff to find. And I don't mean items, I mean details about the world.
There's a bit more to it than that.
Man, this looks so much better on PS5. Jesus Christ. Okay, so someone bought me the game. I was intending to wait, but I did really want to play it, and someone bought me the game for PC. The problem is that this is not an RE Engine game. This is a Konami Engine Sucks game. So
No, this is Unreal Engine
Is that
5.
the actual name of it?
So my computer, it can run the game, but it can't run it well, which is more than I can say for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, another game that I really want to play. That game won't even launch because it needs an RTX GPU.
Kind of a local legend.
But
Is it Unreal Engine 5?
Yes, it is. It's the same
Okay.
engine that for the
Sentenced to
Snake
die.
Eater remake.
Delta, yeah. Because I've been seeing Delta make the rounds, and despite looking good, that game runs like ass. Or at least it asks too much to run remotely stable.
Every night.
I'm still gonna get it, but I'm gonna wait for it. I'm gonna wait for a patch. Because I love Snake Eater. Like I do genuinely
Yeah,
love Snake
it's my
Eater,
favorite.
but-
It's my favorite Metal Gear game.
And every night, she would stand there on the shore.
so we get this local legend, I suppose, about Silent Hill. I don't think this was in the original game.
A terrible storm
I don't think it was either, but
Or
I
if
can't
it was,
remember.
it was like listed in a file or something, maybe.
Even in darkness, the man would not give up. He would not turn back. So he fought against the raging waters until finally the lake took him.
Ah, so stubbornness gets you killed. That's the moral of the story.
The woman never lost hope.
I thought it was supposed to be a like love conquers all kind of
Obviously not.
deal.
Lighting the candle
Oh.
But, you know, a lot of old stories have these really dark endings to them.
to lead him to shore.
You
Or more
effective-
like I love will last forever.
Truth there
I guess is more
It's probably just a fairy tale.
more the thing going on there.
Well, a lot of old stories were were like conceptualized to explain spooky things that were happening in the local area. So they're basically ghost stories, and ghost stories never have happy endings. Otherwise, where did the ghosts come from? You know?
Well, nobody wants to hear about how, somebody went through hardship, triumphed, won, and then 60 years later died of old age and became a ghost anyway. It's just not a very good story. Did she have the butterfly tattoo in the original?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of like an iconic part of her design.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey. It's okay.
So while I was searching for Maria-related things in between parts to see like what kind of complaints people had about Maria in this game, one of the things was that we modded Maria's model so that her head is 30% smaller. What? And apparently this is an improvement somehow. What? I don't get it. I do not get it. What?
God forbid a woman in a video game look like a real woman. You know?
Now I'm like, was her head smaller in the original? I can't tell.
Oh, so people notice that kind of shit? Like, I wouldn't.
You okay?
Yeah. Maybe you better wait here.
Did he cut his hand on the glass?
How much of a movie fan
Very
am I?
slightly, but this is an excuse to have Maria not come in and be seen by other people. In the original version, she just says she hates movies and doesn't and refuses to go in for some reason. So
Yeah, she just awkwardly doesn't want to go in, which was always a bit weird to me. And like obviously, it's the original game trying to imply that something is up with Maria, but it doesn't really make sense alongside the fact that Maria had her own little campaign. So if she's a sentient person who exists, then she should have no problem being seen by other people. She shouldn't be trying to avoid it. But the real problem here is not her being seen by other people. It's her being seen by a specific person who's in the movie theater at this moment. That is the little girl who knows James's wife. Because obviously that would complicate the plot somewhat. Now, obviously, if she's a creation of Silent Hill, and the little girl can't see the monsters of Silent Hill, there is a non-zero chance that the little girl would not be able to see Maria. But if she couldn't see Maria, and James could tell that she couldn't see Maria, that would complicate things, you know? So
Yeah, it's like you can't write around it. Like, there's just no running around it.
So they just contrived reasons for Maria to not be seen by the little girl when the little girl showed up in the plot.
I mean, there's if it's also all supposed to be in James's head, this sort of stuff happens too. Like if you guys have ever watched A Beautiful Mind, that's the God, I forget the Russell Crowe movie. And this is kind of a spoiler for the movie, but it's also 20 years old, so sorry. Skip ahead a minute if you don't want to know. The twist for the story is you watch the first like 30, 45 minutes and you see this guy and and you meet his best friend and you meet like this government person he's working for. And the twist is he's a schizophrenic. And one of the clues that you're supposed to figure out for this is that his college roommate, whenever he talked to anybody else in the college, the roommate made up an excuse to walk away and not be around whenever other people were there. So that's like something that, if the town knew that they're like, if it's a figment of the town or in James's head, it would she would know to leave so that the ruse doesn't get, picked up.
Okay, so Eddie's had his pizza replaced by a giant tub of ice cream. One of the things about this scene in the original was that it was more
Back at the apartment building.
funny and sad than anything. Here, it's like he's eating ice cream out of a tub of ice cream by hand. It's gross.
Well, the pizza box is still there.
The pizza box is still there, yeah. Like he was eating, like he was actively eating the pizza when you
Where did he
saw
get
him
the
in the
pizza?
original.
Who delivers to Silent Hill?
That's funny because like James's question immediately from our recall was like, how could you be eating pizza at a time like there's some of this shit?
that actually happens because you can find another pizza box in the bowling alley
Yeah,
later in the game, and James's voice line is, "Who could sit here eating pizza at a time like this?"
yeah. But yeah, I didn't know that they changed this for the remake. So just make it ice cream instead of pizza.
Anyway, there's a detail at the very start of the game that you probably miss your first time through. There's a van parked where James leaves his car, you know? That van is the van that Eddie and Laura enter the town in.
You coming?
Laura's the little girl.
you want me
I
to come with
only
you?
remember her name because it was in the subtitles just now.
Never mind.
This dude's unsettling as fuck.
Yes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be because in the original he was more pathetic than anything.
In the original, he had anime narm to him. He was almost like the Ashford twins in that sense, although not quite as far gone.
Who is that girl anyway? I don't know. All I know is her name. I swear.
That's not convincing.
Didn't you want to go after her? Better hurry. Laura can be pretty quick when she wants to.
I thought you only knew that what her name was.
Are you going to share any of that, buddy?
I don't want it. No.
Not after you stuck his hand in there.
I am not going to eat that ice cream now. Come on.
He dipped his hand in a shit bowl. It's fine.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. If James has to reach his hand in to get some of that ice cream out, it's only going to be grosser for Eddie when he actually takes the next bite.
It's like it's a spoiler warning, Eddie. I didn't watch.
That sounds like a good way to catch polio. Let's see.
Oh, that's the real nightmare about Silent Hill is that polio still exists here.
Okay, let's see. Where are we going now?
We're just
So-
going through the movie theater trying to
Projector
find
room.
Laura.
Yes, here we go. Projector room.
So it's weird that Eddie seems a little weird to me because his interactions kind of come and go really quickly versus the other characters. Like obviously Maria's following us, but the little girl, she was just being a little shit and ran away, which is very natural. And Angela, she had a real conversation with you and then left when she was tired of what was going on versus Eddie just kind of stays around, and it's weird to me.
Eddie is our example of what happens when one of the people that gets pulled into Silent Hill is an irredeemable shit. And his resolution is realizing that he is an irredeemable little shit and he just does not care. So he's not he's in denial in his first scene. Here he's just apathetic. And then when you see him next, I think it's for his boss fight. And I have not played the remake through that far, so I do not know what they do with it there.
Oh, it is such a much better scene than it is in the original.
Is it? So I was going to ask, is they removed the pizza scene because his boss fight now contains the TMNT pizza launcher.
I still want to know who's delivering pizza to Silent Hill.
Well, he doesn't go, let's party for no reason.
In any case, in the gameplay beats loop of Silent Hill 2, Eddie takes the place of all things of Sybil Bennett. He is the human boss who has a gun that you have to fight.
Yeah, I tried to stop.
Unfortunately, there is no saving Eddie. You could very easily save Sybil Bennett and just skip the entire boss fight if you knew what to do, as I demonstrated in my playthrough. Just, throw some of the red juice in her face and she'll be fine. Here, you actually do have to fight Eddie. I don't know what the boss fight is like in the remake, but in the original, it was annoying as shit because he's a guy with a gun in a tank-controlled horror game. We should have learned our lesson after Alone in the Dark 2, but we didn't.
I'll spoil it now a little bit. Eddie kind of kicks my ass.
Yeah, that sounds like Eddie.
Where do you think James keeps the lead pipe when he's not using it?
Up his ass.
Chat. It's in his
No,
chat.
in his ball sack. We're talking about this before.
Oh,
Find his
right.
ball sack.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we skipped the mansion from the Maria campaign, so we don't get to see that Easter egg in this playthrough. Oh well.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's a cool thing to find.
You want to see when you play the fucking game yourself.
It is worth playing.
Available now.
You can get this for pretty cheap. I think it's only like $30 now.
Let me check.
Wait,
price
is the
on
game
Steam.
going to get hard again? Because I noticed the game has been giving you a lot of healing items. And there haven't been a lot of enemies.
The Brookhaven Hospital is the second major dungeon of the game. So yes, it's about to get hard again.
Oh shit! This is like a Shin Megami Tensei dungeon with all the rooms. Oh no!
one of the things about the Brookhaven hospital is it's kind of a replacement for the hospital in the first game. They did an entirely new hospital because the layout of the original game's hospital was just not very good. But you actually do revisit.
Why is there a shotgun in a hospital?
Because this is also the psych ward for the
Yes,
town.
it's both a hospital and a mental asylum, which is not something that can be said about the other hospital. The fact that this is a hospital and a psych ward plays into two very different horror stories, because you go through Brookhaven Hospital again toward the end of Silent Hill 3, and it's very different because instead of playing as James, who sees all the nurses as sexy, you're playing as a teenage girl who sees who has to go through the hospital dealing with this stalker plot. And the sexy nurse monsters are back, but they're not so sexy anymore. They actually look kind of normal. And the idea is Heather Mason's perception of this whole situation is more on the side of seeing the nurses as being under the male gaze, and what that could mean if an unhealthy person caught their fancy. This or an unhealthy person. I said that backwards. If a mentally unhealthy person set their sights on one of them, because there's a stalker plot with files that you find that are letters to Heather from some unknown person that you never meet, who is basically trying to serenade them in letter form. It's very creepy. And you also see files about a side story about a nurse who worked at the hospital who went through all kinds of shit.
I'm just caught up on the fact that this is a hospital / psych ward, as if it's like a combination KFC Taco Bell.
Well, that's what happens when the health industry is a business, my friend. You get fast food hospitals.
Oh, jeez.
A free shotgun in every Happy Meal.
Oh.
Anyway, the interesting thing about Brookhaven being in both games is that you get to see it through both two different perspectives and two different nightmare worlds. Because, James Sunderland's perspective is obviously masculine. He's his issues related to the hospital are all connected to his wife being there and his emotional frustrations and his sexual frustrations. When you go in as Heather, the perspective and the nightmare world are very different, because Heather herself is a teenage girl with teenage girl insecurities and worries, and she's also channeling Alessa, who has her own hospital-related problems. So some of those creep through, and it makes her a very interesting alternate take. And it's one of the few cases of a game immediately after another game using one of the same areas, almost like down to the letter, the same layout, and doing it in such an interesting way that it feels like a completely different level.
It's actually, I find it interesting. You see psych wards a lot in horror-related media. You don't see an awful lot of hospitals, from what I can remember. Like, or at least not as major locations. Like, a lot of movie sequels will start with somebody in a hospital, but considering, like, how much trauma there is with many of the... Oh, the faces were blurred out. That's symbolic, probably. Considering, like, how rough of a place a hospital is for so many people. Like, nobody wants to go to the hospital for any reason. You would think that they would do more with that in horror-type things. Or maybe I just don't watch enough horror to know that, oh, there's hospitals all the time. Creepy hospitals.
I mean, it's not. Are you talking strictly in a horror setting?
Like, you're in a creepy or haunted hospital, or the bad guy's chasing you in a hospital. I feel like you don't see that all that much, versus like the haunted mental asylum or the mental asylum escapee is a common trope.
Was you ever seen The Frighteners?
I've never even heard of The Frighteners.
It was a Peter Jackson movie in the mid-'90s. Michael J. Fox, spirits, ghosts.
Is there a trilogy? Did they make a second trilogy when they shouldn't have?
It's just one. It's just one.
It's only tangentially horror, but the very first Persona game, the story really gets its start in the hospital, because one of the major characters there, who a lot of the psycho-magical shit emanates from, is a sickly girl in a hospital. I bring that up because the first two Persona games do have some strong horror overtones. I mean, they're adventure RPGs at the end of the day, but they are horror
And
themed.
Frighteners is more of a horror comedy, I should stress. And the reason why I brought it up is because I don't remember exactly if like one of the main settings in that movie was a hospital or a psych ward. I want to say it was a hospital, but that was like an example I thought of using a hospital rather than like an asylum.
I like how when you save your game, it's like the camera itself attaches itself to the paper that your character is staring at. I like that detail. In the original game, you would stare at the paper, yes, but the save screen was just the same still frame image of James's face every time. So it's neat that they added that bit of dynamic flair to it.
All right, so we'll explore more of the hospital in the next part of Silent Hill 2 Remake. So see you guys all then. Later.